Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can I start by acknowledging that we gather for this event on the traditional land of Aboriginal people, the Yagara and the Turrbal people. Can I acknowledge His Royal Highness Prince William of Wales, Her Excellency Ms Penelope Wensley, the Governor of Queensland, and her husband Mr Stuart McCosker, Senator the Honourable Jane McLucas, representing the Prime Minister of Australia, John Paul Langbrook, Leader of the Opposition, and his wife Stacey, the Treasurer of Queensland, the Honourable Andrew Fraser, the Honourable Neil Roberts, the Minister for Police, Corrective Services and Emergency Services, and Major General Mick Slater, the Chair of the Queensland Reconstruction Authority. It's wonderful to have all of them with us, and it's particularly wonderful to have all of you here this evening. I want to start by thanking you for coming out tonight and being part of an event to raise funds for the people that Prince William and I have spent the weekend with. And I know that there are people in this room who've already given generously, and you dug deep another time, and I thank you for that. As you all know, we have had an extraordinary summer, a summer of unprecedented disasters, a summer of great sorrow. We're emerging from that crisis, and we're making our first steps towards recovery. We're beginning to see recovery in our roads and our railways, our bridges and schools, but we all know that healthy and happy communities are about a lot more than buildings. Restoring real happiness and well-being to people will be a long and slow journey. For many Queenslanders, it's a journey of financial hardship, it's a journey of social dislocation, and a journey of terrible, heartbreaking grief. Over the past 2 days, the emotional load that's carried today by so many Queenslanders has been lightened by our very special guest, His Royal Highness Prince William. Prince William has been like a ray of sunshine. He's been bringing real... except for when the rain came today. But he has shone among all of the crowds of people who've come out to welcome him. He's brought real joy and hope, and he's had a great sense of there's been a great sense of excitement about his visit. This afternoon, in the rain on the Toowoomba Range, people came out of their umbrellas with their flags to see a glimpse of their prince and wave the flag. And the city of Toowoomba, not leaving anything to the last moment, brought down a bit of fog to make sure that he wasn't too homesick. But the prince's genuine concern for the people that he met, not to mention a fair dose of boyish charm, has visibly lifted the spirits of everyone that he's met. And that's so important to our recovery. Optimism, morale being high, and a sense of confidence is what we really need to recover. And individual and community spirit really matters at a time like this. His Royal Highness has worked very hard in the last 2 days to make sure that people know that they haven't been forgotten, and he made them feel that they had the whole world willing them on in their journey. Many people deeply appreciated the effort of the very long journey that the Prince has made, especially for a young man who's only weeks away from his wedding. His visit also gave many people a reason to travel into town, to be with friends, for some of them for the first time since the disaster. And it gave them the chance to do something as human, as simple and as powerful as cheering each other up. So on behalf of all Queenslanders, and particularly those of you who are here tonight, Prince William, can I say I thank you for caring enough to come and visit the people who are suffering and who need their spirits lifted right now. Can I thank you for coming and visiting each one of their communities, and can I ask everybody to please welcome His Royal Highness the Prince William of Wales.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to acknowledge with thanks the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Turrbal and Jagera people. I would also like to thank Her Excellency Penelope Wensley, the Governor of Queensland, and the Honourable Anna Bligh, Premier of Queensland, for welcoming me so warmly to Brisbane this evening. I'm delighted to be here to support the Premier's disaster relief appeal for Queensland. In the past 2 days, I've met many Queenslanders who have been struck by the brutal force of nature at its cruelest. On behalf of the Queen, the Prince of Wales, and other members of my family, I would like to extend heartfelt condolences to all in Australia who have lost family members and friends in these terrible natural disasters. We also remember the New Zealanders and the Japanese people and those Australians and their families who are caught up in the horrors unfolding in Japan. They are very much in our thoughts and prayers tonight. The trauma of these events, like the waters, will take a long time to subside. Here in Queensland, I'm sure you all join me in paying particular tribute to the rescuers, the state emergency services, the police, members of the armed services, and just ordinary stalwart Queenslanders who came to the aid of their neighbours. To everyone who risked life and limb to save others and protect property during flood and cyclone. Just one example. This morning I heard from the Premier of the remarkable efforts of the helicopter crews who helped save so many from the waters. What she told me, with great pride in their achievements, about the job they did was simply outstanding. As a search and rescue pilot myself, I'm full of admiration for their courage and skill. Queenslanders are renowned for their grit, their resilience and courage. You only have to ask the Canberra Raiders that. It is sure testimony to this irrepressible spirit that everywhere I have been, the mood has been one of optimism, with Queenslanders very much open for business. I would like to express my profound admiration for what the public officers working so hard on reconstruction and all Queenslanders have achieved in such a remarkably short space of time. It is truly inspiring and a privilege to have witnessed. However, there is still much to do, and that is why the Premier's disaster relief appeal for Queensland is so important. I thank you wholeheartedly for your contribution to the rebuilding of this magnificent state. Thank you.